Bitcoin has finally halved and there's a new rune update. So today we're going to do a little bit of technical analysis to see where we could possibly go as far as price action. I've switched up my investment strategy. So today we're going to talk about where I've been and where we're going to as far as my personal strategy and how I choose to invest in this space. There's some narratives we need to be paying attention to as far as whenever we get higher price action or the bull run comes. So we're going to talk about that. And finally, we're going to wrap it up with a couple of concerns I got for this beautiful space we call Bitcoin and crypto. What's good? Welcome back to another episode of Where the Money At. It's episode 63. You know we keeping it rocking and rolling. I know I took a little bit of a break, but we back now and we got a lot to talk about. So let's get right into it. I ain't gonna waste nobody's time. Let me share my screen. So let's pull up CoinGecko here and let's wait for it to refresh and let's go over the prices. So we got Bitcoin 64,500. We have Ethereum sitting at $3,167. Tether is at an all-time high of $1. BNB is at $607 in the number 4 spot. Solana is at $148. And where is XRP? XRP is now in the 8th spot at 53 cents, right on the money. So let's pull up TradingView here and let's look at some local ranges really quickly. So we have been in the range ever since February 28th, in between 59,000 and 73,000. So that's where you want to live as far as if you're a trader, but it's not really about what's going on right now. Let's scale out and look at the whole scale of everything. So in my opinion, let's start off with the 200 EMA. I didn't want to start off with it, but let's start off with it. What is a bull run? So if we look and let's go back to 2017. So July 2017, the 200 EMA was right here. So what is a bull run? It's basically when the 200, we're on the 200 day right now, takes a leg up. So we have this blue line and we came up right here and the price action shot up. So let's fast forward to 2021 when we reached all-time highs of $69,000. The EMA levels took another leg up. So what do we see here as far as 2024 going into 2025? It's looking like the 200-day EMA could possibly be setting up to take another leg up. So that's what I'm looking at. But for right now, let's look at some momentum indicators. My mouse doesn't want to act right. Let's look at the MACD and the RSI. We're going to look at them at the same time to save a little bit of time. So I like looking at these on the weekly and the daily. So let's look at the weekly. And these are just momentum indicators to try to make a prediction on where we could go in the future as far as price action. So as far as the MACD says, it's looking like we're a little bit in the overbought area and we have some time to calm down as far as price action and go a little bit lower. And it's saying the same thing in the RSI. We're starting to turn a little bit yellow and the line has gone above the 70 level. So we're in the overbought area as far as the weekly. So that may show you that we have a little bit more downward price action to go in the weekly. But let's check the monthly and see what it says because they tend to contradict each other. And right on time, the MACD monthly says we're just heating up. So in the upcoming months, we may have higher price action to go because it hasn't even turned white yet. We're still in the green candles. Now we may have one, maybe two more before it starts to turn white and it starts to overheat a little bit. But if you look at the blue and yellow line, it's still heading upwards in the upward trajectory. And also in the RSI, it's right in the middle as far as the main line and it's going upward to say we possibly have more higher price action to go. And that would coincide with the EMA. Let's go back to the daily. All right. And let's make it 200. All right. Now, based off of what I'm about to say, I don't know where them dots came from. Based off of what the line says or the momentum indicator says, we have higher price action to go. Now, the price is actually getting pretty close to the EMA. And what happens when we cross it? We either tend to stay above it pretty high, which is looking like based off of history, this is kind of where we are, and we may touch it and go below it again. Now, we could stay below it or we could traject higher, but we'll just have to see in the upcoming months. And it looks like it'll touch possibly around June or sometime in the summer. So let's pay attention to the summer. So that's it for price action. So let's look at some narratives. So no. First, we'll talk about how I switched up my investment strategy. Yes. So let's look at it. So basically, ever since 2021, I've been investing in projects for the long term, the medium to long term. I believe projects that I believe will last for 1 or 2 cycles in the future. You know what I'm saying? So basically companies within the top 50, the top 20, the Solanas, the Avalanches, the chain links. And I've done this because I feel like the space is now in a mature enough area to where these companies have staying power and they have a lot longer to last. They've had to step their accounting up, their marketing up, their technology up as a whole. And I can appreciate that. So how have I switched it up and why have I switched it up? Well, let's restart this chart so I can get a kind of a better look at it. Ever since 2021, I have made roughly 40% on my money. Almost basically a 2x on every position that I've been in, which is great. And I'm very appreciative of that. But it's not necessarily what you think about when you think about crypto. So when you think about crypto, you think about the 10, the 100, the 1,000x. And yes, I am human. I'm susceptible because I always ask myself, where's the money at? If we look at a tweet here, after 3 years in crypto, I'm up 40%. My portfolio is growing at a significantly faster pace than my 401k. No Lambo, but I may actually be able to buy a house in the future. And this is my Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. So yeah, so with my current holdings, my long-term holdings, I'm in the green and it's looking good if we move on higher from here. But 2x is not necessarily what you've been thinking about. You know what I'm saying? And I'm susceptible to. So what am I trying to say? I'm moving into shorter term positions from this area. Now we'll see if we move higher, it'll be a win. If we move lower, those positions, like let's say I bought Chainlink right here and we went down, that wouldn't be so bad. You know what I'm saying? But what are short term, higher risk positions? I hate to admit it, but they are meme coins and the brand new projects that are coming out this month, the ones that have come out this year. And I am finally in the crypto casino. It is what it is. And so the point is I've done my thing as far as the long-term positions. They're ready. I'm ready to exit them at this point. I don't think I'll be adding anymore. I might, but we'll see how this strategy turns out. So I've moved to short term. And how am I doing this? By just doing more project research on the daily. So if you go to CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap, you can find like new cryptocurrencies, and you could look at all the tokens that have just come out within the last couple hours that CoinMarketCap has added and CoinGecko has added. So and a lot of these are nonsense, you know what I'm saying? But you got to do your research. Go back to the project research video. The same principles apply to what I'm looking for. Now, some of the meme coins you just got to take a bet on, like that's all that is. Like there's no rhyme or reason. There's these meme coins are not going to have a GitHub account, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to find their founders on LinkedIn or the people who are contributing to the code base. Like that's not what it is, you know what I'm saying? So but this is what it is, and this is crypto sometimes. So I gotta have that practical long-term position, and I'll always be faithful and reliant on that. But also there are opportunities in meme coins. So we may have a little bit more content on that coming up, but let's just talk about the overall. So this is the strategy. So I'll be looking at the new tokens that come out, the launch pads, checking crypto Twitter, be in the crypto streets, just on Reddit, taking as much information in as possible and seeing if you could ride the wave, find some communities, and move on from there. So there are narratives that are inside of cryptocurrency. So when price finally does, are we locked? Are we locked? Auto fit. Anyway, when price tends to go higher, so we're at 70,000. So when price tends to hit 80, 90, 100, 110, there'll be narratives that'll be pushing particular tokens that you may want to get into. And what are those narratives? I think one of the biggest ones is L2s. Let's just hear a quick little tangent about it as far as the Paul Barron network and what someone from Van Eck has to say about it.
Your tokens off exchanges, put them in your own wallet and get going. All right, I want to play this first clip, which gets into the Van Eck CEO. That's right, the Van Eck CEO talking about alternative projects. Listen in.
And frankly, I think both Bitcoin and ETH miss the most important story of 2023, which people know, but I don't think they focus on enough, which is simply that transaction costs are now available at affordable rates through Solana or the so-called layer twos. Because you see the transaction fees for Bitcoin and Ethereum. No one would ever use that database to build anything on, right? Would you want to fill your FAR at $50, week after week, and then 1 week is $600? And that's effectively what high gas fees are on Ethereum. I think just focusing on those two, and sorry, that's where we're at in the United States, so it's natural. But the most interesting thing happening in crypto to me right now is that you have databases that can scale, that can take a lot of users, that have high uptime, and now have predictable costs.
So are you maybe saying that we're putting maybe a little bit too much focus on the Bitcoin ETF when we're looking at what could be driving price movement in the markets?
I think so. It's time to move on.
All right. So what he's talking about is L2s. What are L2s? So basically, the majority of these tokens are, or several of them, the best ones are basically their own blockchain, their own data structure. Let's get technical for a second. Their own data structure. And L2s are softwares that are built on top of those data structures. So Ethereum is an L1, and all the L2 projects can be built on top of Ethereum, or however they configure it. So what do L2 solve? They solve three problems. They solve scalability, security, and speed. And what he spoke about was Bitcoin and Ethereum missing the main points, which are the L2s. They're L1s. They can't catch on to the L2 wave, but they can. L2s can be built on top of those and help those. So everybody, if you deal with Ethereum, you understand gas fees. And when you want to interact with the Ethereum chain, there's a fee for every transaction. And sometimes it can get really ridiculous based on how many people are on the network. Well, some of these L2s are coming in like with ZK rollups and just preparing technology. So it's about transactions. So a ZK rollup is they'll take 1,000 transactions, I'll put them off chain, compile them into one, and put it on chain, and it'll go into Ethereum as one transaction. That'll make it move faster, bring down the cost, and you'll be able to scale it higher. That's one of the areas, scalability. All right, all that to be said, those tokens may be something that you want to pay attention to. So I would say research L2s, and there are many other narratives that are coming into this bull run and going into 2020, late 2024, 2025 that you should be paying attention to. L2s, artificial intelligence projects, ZK rollup projects, projects that are on new bases. New chains like Base. So like there's the Ethereum chain, there's the Solana blockchain, there's the Avalanche blockchain, but there's also, let's go to categories. Let's go to cryptocurrencies by categories, and let's go by chains. So there's Ethereum, Solana, but there's also new chains like Blast and Base. Let's look at those. Look, we're answering the question, where the money at? Y'all want to know. So we got Blast Bitcoin, the Blast blockchain, relatively new. Aren't that many tokens on it, but it may be an opportunity in the future. I haven't done that much research on it. Let's look at Base, bunch of coins. So if you want to go into meme coins, my strategy is kind of looking for the new chains and finding the top meme coins on there. So that may be something that you want to do. So those are the narratives. So we went over investment strategy, narrative. So let's wrap it up with a couple of things one big thing that bothers me inside of cryptocurrency. And we're going to go through it with this article right here. UK judge freezes Craig Wright's assets worth $7 million amid Satoshi Nakamoto identity dispute. After Judge Miller in the UK rendered his decision in a notable lawsuit initiated by the COPA against Craig Wright, he concluded that Wright did not embody the persona of the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. Subsequently, Miller enforced a worldwide injection on Wright's holdings, freezing assets valued at $7.6 million US. So here's my issue. It's not the fact that he froze the money. He froze the money because Wright transferred his company shares to a Singapore-based entity. So he was moving shares around. All right, cool. That's not what we're talking about. What got me is this part right here. He concluded that Wright did not embody the persona of the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. So a judge made a rendering or a decision that this person is not Satoshi Nakamoto, who created Bitcoin in this space that we're in, discussing everything that we're talking about, all this technology, security, scalability, L2s, chains, databases, data structures, all this crap. We got judges rendering on who isn't Satoshi Nakamoto, but we still don't know who he is. I mean, think about it. We live in a time where you can't commit any type of cybercrime without the digital authorities understanding what device you used it on, exactly your location, what IP you used it on, if you transfer money, the digital footprint and the trail of the money, if you extracted the money, the exact ATM in which you got it from, if you used a mixing service to send that money and mix it through different transactions and send it other places. You can't get away with anything. You can't get away with anything digital at this point. But we still don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is. Like, with all the time and money the government has, we have BlackRock creating ETFs and having it be 20-some% of its total ETF inflows based off of a Bitcoin project or product, and we don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is. These things are not adding up. It's just not. It's not. Like, you're not going to tell me, a grown man, that you don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is. We may not know, the public may not know, but they definitely know. You think they just gave up the search, or whoever this person is so good at hiding themselves, or this group of people is so good at hiding themselves that they don't know. We don't know who it is, but we're just running with their technology. All right, man. Whatever. Did I go through all the points? Did I go through everything I want to go to? Yep. So, look, I know we took a break, but you know what I'm saying, life be lifing, you know what I'm saying, and we got to do what we got to do out here. You know what I'm saying? There is more to life than cryptocurrency. This is something that we love to discuss, but you know what I'm saying, take care of your finances, take care of your people, your family, and all your responsibilities in real life. But as always, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Hey, like, subscribe, comment. We're going to talk about everything because we back. And as always, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I'm going to holler at y'all.